Let's talk about the importance of keeping your word. As believers, it's vital that we allow the Holy Spirit to convict and correct us in areas where we're not reflecting the character of Christ. When growing up, I often heard my father say, "Your word is your bond." By this, he meant that if you say something, you need to stick by it. Jesus said this, "But let your yes be yes, and your no, no. For whatever is more than these is from the evil one." That's Matthew chapter 5, verse 37. How often do we make commitments and then back out? How often do we fail to uphold our word because the promises we made were inconvenient or regretted? How often do we promise something when we're in a good mood, only to recant it when we're in a bad mood? We make commitments when we're energized and motivated, but then try to ignore or avoid these commitments when we lose that energy or motivation. That is a lack of consistent character. Granted, sometimes situations arise that make it difficult or impossible to keep our word. For example, if you promise to be somewhere at a certain time and then your car breaks down, that's different. Or if you schedule one commitment only to realize that you had a prior commitment, that's an honest mistake. Should you be more organized? Yes, but that's not the same thing as flaking on your word. The unexpected can disrupt our plans, and we ought to have grace for ourselves and others when such things arise. However, this doesn't mean that the unexpected is always cause for breaking your word. For example, let's say you make dinner plans with your parents or siblings, but that morning you're late for work or you get into an argument with a coworker. Your mood may have shifted, but since the plans are for the evening, you should keep that commitment if able. I think our culture too heavily emphasizes self-care. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe we should rest, be healthy, and set reasonable boundaries to guard our time. But we have to have balance. It can't always be about us. Sometimes keeping your word is going to require that you push through the tiredness. Sometimes our commitments will be inconvenient for us. Parents, if you make a commitment to your child, do everything in your power to keep that commitment. Husband, keep the promises made to your wife. Wife, keep the promises made to your husband. Friend, keep your commitments to your friends. And on that note, do as Jesus said. Let your yes be yes, but don't forget to let your no be no.